29th season in the history of Formula One Grand Prix racing began in Argentina, the same weekend that the FIFA officials were drawing for the World Cup final to happen later that summer in the same country. Well, all this largesse costs, and the organisers at the last minute needed to pay another $850,000 to Bernie Ecclestone of FOCA before the race could go ahead. Wearing his other hat, that of the owner of Brabham, Bernie Ecclestone had pulled off a midwinter coup by signing Niki Lauda. He'd been drafted away from Ferrari to join the Brabham team alongside Ulsterman John Watson. A slightly less radical look at Tyrrell this year, just 4 wheels on their 008. The Lotus of American ace Mario Andretti started from pole position, and in third place, returning to Lotus, was Ronnie Peterson. He had signed as a number 2 to Andretti. The American was happy, and the Swede, well, he would honour his contract throughout the season. Early on, it was all about Andretti. With 4 wins in '77, the American former IndyCar champion looked a real certainty as a front runner in the title race. The Brabhams were going strongly with Lauda and Watson, and after falling out with Derek Gardner, the 6-wheel Tyrrell designer, Ken's outfit with its 4-wheeled 008 was looking a little more conservative, but running just as strongly. Lauda soon moved up into second at the expense of Carlos Reutemann. Reutemann being joined by French-Canadian Gilles Villeneuve at Scuderia Ferrari. While there were other interesting battles, the race was largely about Mario Andretti. He ran away from the opposition and hid 13 seconds ahead of Niki Lauda by the checkered flag. Lauda claimed second place, Watson retired 10 laps from the end, and for the Tyrrell driver Patrick Depailler, the season started with a podium position in third. James Hunt was fourth for McLaren, Patrick Tambay in sixth. The new Jacarapagua circuit in Brazil was the venue for round 2. Tyrrell's Patrick Depailler takes us for a ride. Peterson had been the star of qualifying, planting his Lotus on pole ahead of Hunt's McLaren. But at the word go, it was Carlos Reutemann who jumped into the lead. Lole, disappointed at his home Grand Prix in Argentina, was out for revenge, and he was rarely seen again by anybody else. The 5-kilometre circuit was built on reclaimed swampland just outside of Rio with the assistance of Emerson Fittipaldi in its design. It was bumpy, hot and not universally liked. John Watson in the Brabham Alpha struggling to keep the tyres working in the intense heat. And Ferrari's Gilles Villeneuve starting a career of spectacular off-track excursions. His teammate Carlos Reutemann exploited the grip of his Michelins and led start to finish. It was shaping up to be a classic tyre war year, with Goodyear on the Lotus and Michelin on the Ferrari. Ronnie Peterson, fastest in practice, but after a fender bender with Gilles Villeneuve, he was out of the race. Lole was happy with victory, Fittipaldi happy with second place, but 50 seconds back. Niki Lauda was third, Andretti struggling home in fourth. Frenchman in the Tyrrell squad Didier Pironi scored a point in only his second Grand Prix, but compatriot Patrick Tambay went dirt tracking in his McLaren and was soon to retire. Victory for Reutemann, but that meant that Andretti and Lauda were shaping up as the title favourites. The South African Grand Prix, 7 French drivers in Formula One taking a little team photo. And one of them, Patrick Depailler, takes us round Kyalami in his Tyrrell. Lauda's Brabham Alpha claimed pole position, but American hot shoe Mario Andretti planted the Lotus firmly